What's happening, guys? It's Eric 1740 Garage. Today we're going to do a video on installing an ASR subframe brace on the back of my 2000 Civic Si. So here's what we're working with. Okay, here it is. In this package here, you have your sway bar end links, adjustable. In this package you have your brackets with your hardware. I'm going to be replacing some of the hardware with Downstar. I have a Downstar kit right here for the lower control arms, and these two longer bolts are for the subframe brace with the black beauty washers. Right there, part number. Of course, you have your directions right here. That's for your adjustable end links. And then you have your directions for your subframe brace. Pretty self-explanatory. And inside of here, we have the ASR subframe brace. These are your sway bar clamps. And here is the 24mm sway bar. That's pretty much it. I'm going to get the camera set up here and get under the car here, and we're going to get this thing installed. Stay tuned. Alright guys, first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your brackets. You got one on both sides. You're going to want to put your brackets on both sides on the back of your subframe brace like this. And you're going to use these bolts here, little hex heads. I believe they are they're 4mm. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the brackets on the back of the subframe brace, and you got a hole here, you got a hole here on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. And I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize on my threads, just so I don't have any problems in the future. These bolts coming out if I ever want to take this off. Okay, I got one side done. We'll go ahead and move on to the other side. Okay, got both sides done. It's going to set up on here like that. Now, one thing that you ain't got to use on an SI, your rear subframe is reinforced. It's got plates back behind here and are threaded. In the ASR subframe brace kit, it comes with these two brackets for like your regular EKs, your non-SI versions. And what you'll do is you'll slide these behind. You'll slide them back behind here, and that way you can thread your bolts into them. But since this is an SI, you don't need these. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and mount the subframe brace to the back of the car. Okay, to mount the subframe brace to the back of the car, we're going to go ahead and use these two bolts here, or these two holes here, to mount the brace to the car first. And these are 13 millimeters. Alright guys, the brace is on, and the next step we need to do is we need to go ahead and bolt on our lower control arms, and we're going to use the Downstar kit. Comes with these spacers, which will stick the spacers in these holes like that. Here's the bolt, the beauty washer. We're going to put the washer in, bolt through, make sure it goes all the way through. Same with the other side. We're going to tighten them down. This is a 8mm. I am going to leave them loose until I get weight on the suspension when the car's down on the ground, and then I'll torque them down. Okay, the next step will be to install the bushings for the sway bar onto the sway bar, and we'll lube them up a little bit. So you just go ahead and pull it out. Notice this has an arrow on it, and this arrow is going to go towards the outside of the car when you mount your sway bar on both sides. So we're going to go ahead and pop the bushings off. We're going to take the sway bar out and get these on the sway bar and go ahead and lube them up. In the ASR kit, they give you a little tube of energy suspension grease. Go ahead and tear it open and apply it to your sway bar. Next, you're going to go ahead and install your bushing onto your sway bar. Go ahead and spin it around so it lubes up the sway bar and the bushing. And do the other side. Okay, subframe brace and the sway bar is installed. And next thing we're going to do is we're going to put together our adjustable end links, and we're going to go ahead and get them installed. First thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to put your jam nut on. And just go ahead and screw it all the way down to the base. Next thing you want to do is you're going to want to put your other end on. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of anti-seize on this one too, just to make it a little bit easier down the road if I have to adjust it. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and screw it all the way in. And then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other one. That's what they look like when you get them both put in. what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use these two spacers, both the same size. You're going to want to use it on the top, on the thread end part, right here, and they'll set right inside, just like that. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to bolt them through the sway bar. The link is going to be on the outside of the sway bar, so it's going to bolt on like this on top, and the same thing with the bottom. The bottom, you're going to use this thicker spacer on the bottom, and that's going to be in between your lower control arm, which would be right here, and then you use a thin spacer out here, and then your bolt's going to go like this. And they supply it with a lock nut. There's two bolt holes on the end of these sway bars. I'm going to use the outside bolt hole. I'm going to tighten them up. And then same thing for the bottom. Like I said, your thick spacer is going to be on the inside towards your lower control arm. And then your other spacer is going to be outside, your thin spacer. You're going to want to make sure that your links are the same adjustment on both sides. I just went out one turn. I'm going out one more turn. And these bolts are 14 millimeter. I'm using the outside hole too on the lower control arm. And once it's tight, you need to spin down your jam nut and you need to tighten it. You're going to want to do the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna go ahead and get this tight and everything, and I will be back with you guys in a second. Alright guys, there it is, all installed. I plan on getting a lower tie brace too to go down at the bottom. I don't know, I kind of wanted to maybe go with maybe a Beaks bar if I can find one. But yeah, there's the ASR subframe brace with the 24mm sway bar and the adjustable end links, K-tune lower control arms, Downstar hardware, Downstar hardware over here. Then of course you have the K-tuned camber arms up top. Then you have the toe arms up front. Next video we'll probably go ahead and put the rear coilovers on. I have the front ones on already. I'll show you guys those in the next video, and we'll go ahead and install the rear coilovers on the back, and maybe go ahead and move on to the brakes in the back. I have the brakes too, rotors. I need to redo the calipers, the ITR calipers for the back. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a minute. I think I'm going to wrap the video up, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If you would, like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little bell so you keep notified when I update the channel. Special thanks to the guys at ASR for the subframe brace. And I'll see you guys next time. Later.